sliding house.
Why is it called the sliding house? When I press the button, you'll see. 6 billion people in the world, and I doubt anybody else has got a living room with a sliding roof over it like this. The roof weighs about 20 tons in total. There's a steel frame in there, and then a lot of timber, and then quite a lot of machinery. So what we're looking at here, you see a very small electric motor that does the work, powered by just a couple of regular car batteries. You might think in a building called the sliding house that it would be the sliding roof that would be the expensive element. And it wasn't cheap, but to be honest, the most expensive part of this space was the glass house we're sitting in now. Because we needed to keep warm in winter, this is very expensive, double glazing. It took about a quarter of the budget when we built the house, just getting this glass house in the way that we wanted it. It's very pretty. My architect didn't tell me when he specified it that it cost 60 times as much. The build budget for the house was about $1 million, which is actually a lot for a small house for 2 people, but it really has been worth it. The big thing about being in a glass house is that on a hot summer's day you could be scorching, and on a cold winter's day you could be freezing. I mean, glass is not a good insulator, even though this is quite high specification double glazing here. So the main thing we had to think about living in a glass house was keeping cool, keeping warm, which is what the sliding roof is all about. And another thing we had to spend a lot of time thinking about was, of course, access. The door here, as you walk through it at the moment, you're walking through open air, but then suddenly a roof structure appears outside it. If I open the door to go out now, I'm walking into a blank wall. That's no good to anybody. But when the roof gets to the position it should be in, miraculously an aperture appears, which will line up to the nearest ½ an inch with where the doorway is. And there you have it. Walk through the door unobstructed. It took me a long while to build this house, and people would say to me, "Ross, why is it taking so long?" I'm not really just building a house. This is 3 buildings and a railway. We get lots of light aircraft flying over, and because we're on the top of a ridge, we tend to get used as the local landmark, which I imagine could be quite difficult for them. If they're, for example, saying, "Turn right at the glass house," and next time they go by, there isn't a glass house, it's a wooden house. But that's their problem, that's not our problem.